So my friends, in continuation with the therapeutics of Ailments From, in last video we stopped on Rustox. This is the 10th part of my video on Ailments From. Next drug is Sabina. Now in Sabina, when to prescribe Sabina, a very important symptom to understand. Ailments from abortion. Very important, my friends. Ailments from abortion. Abortion means the patient has miscarriage or the patient has done abortion, and because of that, if the patient is suffering from symptom, then you must think of Sabina. Or ailments from premature labor. Understand, premature labor, that is also Sabina. Or hemorrhage from the uterus, then it is also Sabina. So in Sabina you have 3 shades of symptoms: abortion, premature labor, or hemorrhage from the uterus. And how is the hemorrhage from the uterus? Pale red, partly clotted, and worst from least motion. So if you are prescribing a Sabina patient, you will always see the Sabina patient wants to lie down. When she lies down, the hemorrhage is better. So in Sabina, lying down, sitting, when you visit a patient, in this case, she is sitting and she is much better. So worst from least motion, Sabina, and one more drug you have to remember, that is sickle cornetum. Often relieved by walking. Pain extends from the sacrum to the pubis. From sacrum to the pubis. This is a very important symptom of Sabina. You have any symptoms of Sabina, but I have seen in my practice this symptom carries a lot of weightage. Pain from the sacrum to the pubis. So in a nutshell, you have to remember Sabina, ailments from abortion, ailments from premature labor, hemorrhage from the uterus, worse from least motion like sickle cord, pain extends from the sacrum to the pubis. That becomes your Sabina. Next drug, a very important drug, that is Silicea. And if one Silicea comes in your mind, one ailments from is very important, that is ailments from suppressed foot sweats. My dear friends, a very important symptom will come in your practice. Suppressed foods, because in today's world, because of the competitive world, you always want everything neatly, no sweating and all. So because sweating might stain, sweating might be very offensive, it will look bad when you're going outside in social life. So ailments from suppressed foot sweats, a very important drug, Silicea. Second, Cuprum metallicum. Third, graphitis. And fourth, soranum. These 4 drugs you have to always remember with Silicea, that is Cuprum met, graphitis, soranum, and Silicea. These 4 drugs should come in your mind whenever you are dealing a case of ailments from suppressed foot sweats, or ailments from exposing the head or back to any slight draft of air. That is very important. Matlab, you are covered but your head or your back is exposed to draft of air. Most of the time when you're going in a bus, and sometimes what happens that windows does not close wholly. It is either very much stiff or it is bad, or there is no window only. So when you're sitting, the draft of air is hitting on your head. Sometimes when you're sleeping, you have gone somewhere, you're sleeping and the draft of the AC or draft of the cooler or draft of the fan is on your head or on your back, and then you get symptoms, then you must think about Silicea. See, stiffness of muscle you can get because of overstraining also and stretching also. I told you in last video Rustox. But if your head or back is exposed to draft of air and the muscles become stiff, or the symptoms are because of that, then my friend, the drug becomes Silicea. One more ailments from Silicea is ailments from vaccination. If there is ailments from vaccination, especially if you have abscess or convulsions, then you must think about Silicea. And when you think of Silicea, ailments from vaccination, you must think about Thuja. These 2 drugs are very important. Of course, we are only dealing with in these videos ailments from. So I will not describe the differentiating features of Thuja and Silicea. When I start the Materia Medica session, then I'll be able to differentiate these two drugs. For now, you have to remember ailments from vaccination and abscess and convulsions because of that. Think about Silicea and Thuja. One more symptom ailments from in Silicea is chest complaints of stone cutters. Now we have persons who carve these stones, who cut these stones for different purposes. In those cases, if symptoms are because of that, they have cough, you have coryza, you have emphysema, you have asthma, you have bronchitis in stone cutters, then or in chest complaints, then you must think about Silicea with total loss of strength. Such a wonderful line is written, with total loss of strength, then it becomes Silicea. So Silicea has a wide variety of symptoms and ailments from. In a nutshell, if you have to remember, ailments from suppressed food sweats, ailments from vaccination, ailments from when the draft of air is touching your head or back of that is exposed to draft of the air, then Silicea. Chest complaints because of stone cutters. These all symptoms are of Silicea. And in comparison, you must remember ailments from vaccination, Thuja, and ailments from suppressed food sweats, cuprum, sorinum, and graphitis. So this sums up Silicea, a very important drug. Next drug, Staphysagria. Now whenever Staphysagria comes in your mind, one thing comes in your mind is ailments from pride. Written in an Allen's keynote, ailments from pride, feels too dignified to fight, goes home with trembling. A beautiful sentence written in Allen's keynote. So ailments from pride, ailments from envy, ailments from chagrin, this all is Staphysagria. Remember Staphysagria, a remedy of pride. You will not fight, go home trembling because of a hurt feeling, because of mortification, then it becomes Staphysagria. Of course, you have a lot of other symptoms of Staphysagria, but ailments from envy, ailments from pride, ailments from chagrin, you must think about Staphysagria. Next drug, sulfuric acid. Now, what is sulfuric acid? Tell me. You must have read a lot of things about sulfuric acid and mater medica, but ailments from which I have seen in my practice and got results. What are those symptoms? One symptom is very important in sulfuric acid is ailments from brandy drinking. If you have patients suffering from any complaints because of brandy drinking, you must think about sulfuric acid. Next drug that comes to my mind is, of course, if I have told about Silicea, the other drug that comes to my mind is Thuja occidentalis. In Thuja also there is elements from bad effects of vaccination like Silicea, like Entimtat also. So elements from bad effects of vaccination, Thuja, Silicea and Entimtat you must remember. One more thing in Thuja, as it is an antipsychotic, it also covers elements from suppressed or maltreated gonorrhea. A very important symptom, elements from suppressed or maltreated gonorrhea. And if you have this symptom, you must always remember one drug with Thuja, and that is Medorenum. Medorenum also is indicated when there is elements from suppressed or maltreated gonorrhea. So my friends, this is a very exhausting series which I took only for elements from. I was able to describe many of drugs. Major part of drugs I have covered. Some part you go home and read in your mater medica. So these are 10 videos which you must see of elements from. Whatever queries you have, you can always come to me through email, through WhatsApp or a phone. I'm always available. Thank you very much. Keep watching the video.